These are the instructions for the homecoming layout project using Adobe InDesign. First thing you need to do is be on a classroom desktop computer. This assignment cannot be done on an iPad. After you log in, click here in the bottom corner of the screen to search for InDesign, IND. By the time you get to that, you should see it on the list, Adobe InDesign. Click it and it will load. If you've not been on Photoshop or InDesign on this particular computer, you're going to need to log in. Use your school email address with name at student.midwayisd.org. You usually have to type that in twice along with your password that you used for the classroom computer. And then once you get there, you should see Adobe InDesign. Then this is the point where you need to pause and ask your teacher to come over because you will need a big flash drive of all of the provided homecoming photos unless you have your own. So right here, pause the video and wait till your teacher installs the flash drive on your computer. When you're ready, go into InDesign and click Open. Then you're going to go to this PC. Now, I see different things than you see since I'm a teacher. When you click on this PC, there might be some things at the top, and if you scroll down a little bit, somewhere down at the bottom, usually bottom right of this area, you're going to see a folder with your name on it. Click on your name, and when you do, from there, you're going to click on Commercial Photography 1, then Homecoming Layout Project, and then the Adobe InDesign folder or file called Homecoming Layout Project. It might take a minute to open up. First thing you'll notice is that the title or the headline says homecoming is in a font that doesn't really fit a homecoming event. This is kind of a scary font. Two of the tools we're going to use in the toolbar are the selection tool and the typing tool. So click the typing tool, highlight the word homecoming either by clicking and dragging over, or a shortcut is to double click it. On the right-hand side, sometimes on some of the computers, you might see your fonts up here, but most of them are going to be on the right-hand side. You'll see the different fonts. I'm going to click Chiller or whatever font we're on and scroll through and find something that's more suitable for homecoming. If you choose a font like this one that becomes bigger and it goes behind that picture, that's okay. We can change the font size here in a minute. But you go through and hover over the different font choices until you find one that you like. Definitely something better than the one that was there before. My example is actually kind of too big for this space. It covers or goes underneath this picture. So I need to highlight it again. And then on the size of the text, I need to go smaller and smaller until it fits so that we can see all of the word homecoming. Next, you're going to see where it says by name. You need to change that to your name. I've already done that here on mine. Make sure you use proper capitalization, capital first letter on your name, capital last letter on your name. The next step is to start filling in these boxes with images. They have been provided for you from that flash drive. Every square, rectangle, and circle needs to be filled with an image, with a photograph. We're going to start with the dominant picture, the largest one on the spread. When I click it, I need to be on my selection tool, which is the arrow key at the top. When I clicked it, right here in the middle, you'll see that the box around it turns blue. Then I'm going to go to File, and this is where a lot of people make a mistake. They choose Open. We're not going to open a picture. We're going to File, Place a Photo. From there, you need to click on this PC again, your name, and then go to Commercial Photography 1, Homecoming Layout Project, and that's where you're going to see all these pictures. I'm going to look through these pictures, and if I don't see them, by the way, up near the top of your screen, you should see some choices. Like if you saw this, there's a way to look at the pictures so that you can see them in this screen. I like working with extra large icons. Scroll around until you find a picture that is suitable to be a dominant photo in the homecoming layout. We do not want to put a posed picture there. Something like, one of these where they're obviously staring into the camera and they knew their picture was being taken. Those are posed pictures and they're good for subordinate pictures, but not for dominant pictures. I'm also looking for something that really says homecoming. Maybe something from the parade, maybe the mascot, maybe something where somebody's wearing a mum or something. Personally, I like this one. I'm going to put that one there. You choose which one you want to put in there. You can double click it or choose open here. I like shortcuts, so I'm going to double click the picture and then it should pop into this dominant selection area. From here, if your picture is too far left, right, or up and down, you can double click it and it gives you this brown border. Once you have that brown border, look down on your keyboard and on your arrow keys, I'm going to keep pushing the left arrow button until I move this guy's face kind of out of the gutter. This line down here in the middle is the gutter or the fold of the book. I don't want his face to be there. You can also double click the picture and grab the edges of it and make it bigger and smaller if you wanted to, but I kind of like the size it was there. Next, you're going to keep placing more pictures. Let me show you what happens when you don't do it correctly. If I don't select an area, and if I just go to File, Place, and choose a picture, it's going to hang on to my mouse. It's like hanging on to that right there. If I click, it's going to be the wrong size. It's going to go in a bad place. Just hit the delete key on your keyboard and it goes away, and stop freaking out. Make sure you are selecting a box first, making it blue, and going to File, Place. And then I'm going to slowly fill in all of the boxes, File, Place, over and over again. I can put anything I want to on this spread. If it's not in the right spot, I'll just move it up, down, left, or right using my arrow keys. I'm not going to bore you and do the entire thing, but do know that you have to fill in all of the gray boxes, squares, and circles. One thing about body language we've talked about in class is that you do not want to have somebody's body language on the edges of the pictures being facing off the page. So like this guy's looking off the page now. We only have to worry about that on the pictures on the edge. We don't have to worry about anything close to the gutter. But this guy looks like he's looking off the page. You can change out photos as much as you want to. I'm going to make sure it's selected, and I can just File, Place, and put a different picture there, and it will replace it. This one needs to be double clicked and moved to the left though, because it wasn't appropriate for that spot. Okay, you can File, Place, crop, and move all of the photos. When you're done, you do not have to write the captions or names for any of these images. These are just placeholders. Once you have all of the photos filled in, once the font is correct and not the one that it came with, once you have by your first and last name, and that you make sure that there's nobody here in the gutter, the last thing to make sure you do is to make sure you have a little bit of everything from homecoming. You don't want all of these photos to be just of the parade or just of dress up day. You want a little bit of everything. There's a list on the rubric that includes like the game itself, the parade, dress up days, the dance, all pictures that kind of represent everything from the homecoming event. Don't worry if your picture looks too dark. This is not an assignment where we would lighten the picture. We're just going for concept here. If this was a real page in the yearbook, we would first lighten this picture before we sent it off to the printer, but you can use a dark picture and that's fine. Again, fill everything in when you're finished. And I would kind of do this along the way anyway. Click File, Save. That way, in case you need to stop working for the day and continue tomorrow, that you've saved this, and it does go directly into the folder underneath your name. But when you're finished, go to File, Print. Make sure under printer name, you've chosen our classroom printer, the HP Universal Printer. That's the one on your teacher desk. There's two printers, not the large one, but the small one is where this is going to come out. Make sure that you have two letter P's here. This means page 1 and page 2, and that they're sideways. If you do not have your printer preview set up like this, let your teacher know and we can fix you up so that it does say that. This means it's going to print 2 pages on 1 piece of paper. Then click print and go get that out of the printer and turn that into the grading tray. It already has your name on it, so you will not need to write your name on it.